Dr. Lady J here. I am doing a life coaching session. I know it's late, had a lot of stuff to do today. But today I'm going to be talking to you about waiting. And do me a favor, please make sure that you share the video, empower and inspire somebody else, because that's what these sessions are all about. And if you're going through something, chances are somebody else is going through the same thing. So I thank you for how that you would continue to share the video. So let's go. Let's get into it. How many of you like to wait? Because I can definitely raise my hand and say that I don't like waiting. When I'm working on projects, or I have to really get something done, I don't like to wait. I don't like sometimes you'll be given a deadline and the deadline could be months away. No, I want to get this done now, so because I want to see how it's going to come out. And sometimes it's hard, and sometimes you can get yourself to a point where you're so anxious and you're so stressed from waiting that it begins to make you sick. And the reason I wanted to talk about this tonight real quick is because I get a lot of phone calls from people to talk to them. And as we really get into the conversation, the one thing that I'm finding out is that a lot of people are in situations where they have to wait. And waiting is hard. Waiting is something that because you don't know what the outcome or what the end is going to be, it's difficult to be in the moment of waiting. And so I understand it, but I wanted to come on real quick tonight and just give you some tips on how to deal with waiting, how to deal with being in that process of the unknown. Now, what is it that waiting teaches you? And I just want to give you a few little tidbits. When you're in that process or in that mode of waiting, one thing waiting will teach you is patience. It definitely teaches you patience. And so take that and run with it, because we can always learn from those situations that we are in waiting for. We can learn how to be patient, embrace that. And maybe sometimes you need to be in that moment of waiting because you might not be a patient person. So embrace the patience that's coming upon you. The other thing, when you're in that mode of waiting, it teaches you how to manage your emotions and your feelings, because you begin to realize, sometimes you might get upset and rah, and angry and all of that, and you begin to realize that that's not helping the situations. So you start to calm down and you start to think things through and come up with a better way to handle your emotions as you're going through. The other thing that happens is when you're waiting, as time goes on, you learn how to put things into perspective. You may think that it should have happened yesterday, but time will teach us that sometimes it's better to wait, because maybe what we thought we wanted or what we thought we needed, we find out in time and over time that it wasn't a good idea. And so it helps you to put things into perspective. Waiting helps you to slow down and process what's going on, because we live in a world that's so busy, it's so crazy, everything is going on, we're all over the place all the time, and there's never a dull moment in this world. And so you learn through waiting, you learn how to slow down, because what you want is not happening at your speed. You have to wait. I have to wait. And I know it's something that we don't like to do, but these are all good things that are beginning to happen to us, and it begins to change you into a whole other person, because you're learning how to wait. It will also give you time to take care of some things that you need to take care of. Waiting will also allow you to think about some of the things that you're doing in life. Some of the people you might be with, some of the places that you're going, some of the things you're participating in. Do you really need to do that? So waiting teaches us a lot of things. Waiting also teaches us balance. We learn how to balance our situation, because we know that there's nothing that we can do about it. So we begin to work on us in a way that we balance. And like I said, we put everything into perspective. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do while you're in your moment of waiting. The first thing I want you to do, and I always have to give y'all an assignment because I'm a former teacher. So, this is your assignment. If you're going through a moment of waiting right now, I want you to begin to write down what you can do while you're waiting? What is it that you can do to help yourself through this process? Because waiting also helps you to prepare for what is to come. And when you're in that moment of waiting, how do you prepare? Let's say you're trying to purchase a house. You want to buy a car. How do you prepare for that process? Maybe they said you need to work on your credit. Maybe you need to have more income. So how do you begin to prepare? We can sit down and be mad and upset and angry because, things aren't going our way. But how do we begin to prepare? So I want you to get a little notebook. You should have your journals by now and your notebooks by now. And I want you to begin to write down how you're going to prepare while you are waiting. I also work with guys who are incarcerated. And the one thing I say to them is, how are you going to prepare while you are incarcerated? How are you going to prepare for that moment when they say you're going home? How do you prepare for coming home? The other thing that you can do while you're waiting is meditate. Meditate, read, find a quiet space to sit down and relax. Listen to music, take deep breaths in and out, inhale, exhale, because sometimes waiting can be hard. It can be difficult. And so take quiet moments for yourself. Slow down. Keep working on you. And it's really important to have an attitude of gratitude. When you have an attitude of gratitude, you're able to look at other people's situations and you start to realize that, yeah, your situation is a little bad, but it's not as bad as that person over there. Or it's not as bad as the person that you see at work, or the homeless person that you walk past as you're going into work or you're driving somewhere. Your situation is not that bad. And so begin to have an attitude of gratitude, because that always helps when you're able to look at somebody else's situation versus yours, and you can see that, yes, you're waiting, but your situation is not as bad as the person over there. The other thing you can do is give yourself permission to not be overwhelmed by whatever that situation is that you're going through. Because waiting can be draining, it can be overwhelming, it can be exhausting, it can be stressful, depending on what you're waiting for. And so begin to give yourself permission not to become overwhelmed, not to become stressed, not to become worried to the point where you just can't function. Give yourself permission to say, it's going to happen and I got to wait. And these are the things that I'm going to do while I'm waiting. Okay? So that's your homework for this life coaching session. What are you going to do while you're waiting? And I don't want you to just write it down on paper. I want you to execute that plan. Okay? So listen, today I was talking about waiting, something that we don't like to do. I haven't met too many people that like to wait. But anyway, I want you to make sure you do your assignment. Let me know how it goes. Send me a note and let me know how it's working out. It should ease some of the stress that you're going through, because sometimes when you write things out and you go back and look at it, you feel a whole lot better. Listen, my name is Dr. Lady J, and I do these short life coaching sessions just to encourage you, give you a little boost. And listen, don't think you're alone. We're all waiting for something, okay? So a lot of us may walk around and smile and you think, wow, life is great for them. We're all waiting for something. It's just a matter of how you deal with that situation while you're waiting. Do me a favor, make sure you share this video to everybody that you come in contact with. Let them know that it's going to be okay. But you have the power to give yourself permission to see how it's going to be and to plan how it's going to be while you're working. Have a great day. Be powerful and be blessed. My name is Dr. Lady J, and I will talk to you soon.